Hello everyone, this is Sue from Sue's Paper Creations. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. Today is Saturday, and so Saturday mornings I always have a simple Saturday card for you guys. This one is very quick and easy. It's got a different look to it. It has kind of a piece of paper that looks like it's kind of floating off the page there, and I have actually popped that piece up with some of our adhesive strips. So this card features a brand new stamp set out of our current annual catalog that started in June, and it is called Healing Hugs. It also features one of our new type of stamps that really has lifelike images to it. So it is actually a photo that they have taken of real flowers and leaves, and they have used a special process to be able to create a stamp with really lifelike detail. So I love this stamp. I'm going to show you how we're going to mask it today, and this is the rest of the stamp set. So I needed a very special card for a very special lady, and so this one I am sending Healing Vibes. So this is, yeah, a perfect stamp set for something like that. So I'm going to put this aside here. For anyone who is within Canada, you can purchase all these items that I use through my online store, and I have a current host code that is for July, and that is the letter P, S, B, A, T, 7, T, and A. So that will run until the end of July. And for anyone who purchases through me online, anywhere in Canada, I will send you off a little thank you note, as well as a special gift from me if your order is $50 or more. If it hits the $60 mark, you will get your name on my In It to Win It board, which I always give away some nice big prizes on that board as soon as it fills up. Okay, so I'd love your support. Today what we're going to do is we're going to use a beautiful DSP piece of paper from our Tropical Escapes. I love these papers. I used them on my last card as well, but the Designer Series paper stack. So I love the fact that you get all of these papers here. You get 48 sheets, and they're 6 by 6 sheets. So it's a nice little sampling of a lot of different beautiful images, and they're in a nice size that's really easy to work with. So we are going to need, for our card, let's bring in our supplies. We're going to need a card base. I used a card base of Blushing Bride, and we are going to be, it's cut on long ways when you have your cardstock 8.5 by 11, so it's cut the lengthwise and then scored in half, and that's how I've created my base. I do have a piece of that DSP that is measuring 4 1/4 because I want it to cover the whole width of the card, and then I cut it down to 5 inches. So it's just a little bit shy of the top, and that is because this is going to be going over top on an angle, so you're not going to see that little strip. Okay, as for the piece of paper I'm going to be stamping on, I wanted it to be slightly wider than the width of my card. So this is 4 1/4, but it is by 4 1/2 because I didn't want it to be too narrow. So say I did use the narrow side here, and I went to put it on the angle, you would end up seeing the top corner of the card. So you want to start with a piece of cardstock that is slightly wider, so when it tips on the angle, it still covers that little point of the top right corner. Okay, so I am going to start by putting a little saying here on this bottom part of the card, and I am bringing in one of the sayings. Actually, I'm going to use a different one for this one. So on the last card, I used sending you healing vibes, but for this one I'm going to get out my Get Well Soon out of the same stamp set, and I'm going to use that one to stamp just in the lower corner here. So I haven't attached my DSP to my cardstock yet because I like to always stamp it first, so that way if for some reason it doesn't turn out right, then I don't have to worry about trying to peel off a piece of DSP from the card base. I can always just get another piece. Okay, so I'm going to just check out my straightness here and adapt it. Okay, so we are going to go right here in the corner. Voila, and there is our get well soon. And then I am going to just put that aside, and I am going to bring in my piece of white, Whisper White cardstock. Now the colors I'm going to be stamping in are the Lovely Lipstick, Blushing Bride, and Granny Apple Green. So for this card, I just did one flower. For this one, I'm going to try doing one flower and then another flower up here in the Blushing Bride. So I'm just going to, just to see a variation so you can see how you can mask off your flowers and do different shades. So I have created a little mask for this stamp. And what I did was I stamped the image on a Post-it note. And then I cut that image out, and I'm going to just stick that aside, and you're going to see what I'm going to do with that in a little bit so that I can have some overlapping but masking so that it looks like the leaves in the second flower are actually behind the first one. So I'm going to bring in that beautiful flower image, and I'm going to stamp it here in the lower left corner. Look at that. Like it truly is stunning and lifelike. I just love this image. Now, this image here, I could do two things. I could stamp it again in the same color, and it would be a lighter color. I'm going to switch it over to the Blushing Bride just because I want it to coordinate with our DSP and our card base that we've got going on, just so that it matches. So I'm going to bring in our new chamois. This is, as you can see, mine is already so well used. This is a new cleaning device that we have got. It is a simple chamois, and it's what it is you just put a little bit of moisture on here. Just plain water is all you need, and it is made from this really spongy material that just grabs the ink and takes it off the stamp. So look at how clean it is. There isn't any trace of any ink on that, and it is all locked in the chamois, and it doesn't transfer off from the chamois onto your fingers. So this is awesome for when you're using your Stamparatus and you still have your stamps attached and you want to be able to clean them. It is awesome for that. Okay, so let's do some masking. I am going to take my one little flower and I'm going to cover it up with the one that I stamped and I cut out. And I am now going to ink up that flower again, and I am going to pop it over top in the Blushing Bride. There we have it, a nice light image. Now, while I have it covered up, I'm also going to do some leaves. So I am going to bring in my Granny Apple Green, and I am just going to stamp a few leaves around here. I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do some over here, and I think I'm going to do a few here. Now, if I wanted to, I could also cover up that flower again, this one here, and I can add, in fact, I will add a few little leaves right there too. So now when I take off my mask, it looks like those leaves and the other flower were actually stamped or are laying in behind. So it just masks it off so you can get those leaves and the other flower really close but without overlapping the colors. So that is how you create that little illusion there. Now what I'm going to do next is I am going to bring in my card base again, and I am going to attach this piece. Now let me get my adhesive here. I'm going to attach this to the card base. And then I'm going to get out my adhesive strips, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to use those to pop up this feature piece. Okay, so I'm going to start by grabbing a strip of this, and I'm going to put it across the top of the card. So it's a little long. I'm just going to rip it off. This stuff's awesome. You can just rip it. Then I'm going to take a little bit more here, and I'm going to bring it down this side. Now I don't want to bring it down too far. I'm going to bring it down about halfway like that on that side, and then I'm going to attach the rest of the adhesive to this part. So I've gone across the top and about halfway down on the right hand side. Okay, now on our stamp piece, what I'm going to do is I am going to go up this one side. So see how this is going to lay like this? So you want to put adhesive on this side here and across the bottom there. Okay, so I want to put it down this side here and across the bottom right here. Okay, so now what I can do is I can go ahead and I can peel these pieces off like so. Voila. And I can peel these ones off. And I'm sorry if I've got a few shadows on this video. I am taping this a little bit late. Everyone else is in bed, and so therefore it is peace and quiet for me, but it does make a few little shadows for you, I'm afraid. Okay, so I am putting this tilted against, make sure that this corner up here is covered. I want a little bit of an angle here. I want to see where my saying is down here, and that looks good, so I'm going to push that on. Oh, you know what? I like it with the second flower. That's going to look so pretty. So now the last thing that you have to do is just flip it over, and you are going to trim your white so that it is flush with your card base. I'm going to trim that down that way. And I'm going to trim this one down here. Okay, so we're cutting off that little tiny bit of adhesive that's hanging out. Now don't forget this little top corner here. Like that. And there you have the beautiful piece of paper. It looks like it's floating up near the top. And it is all popped up. I love that. Now we're not done yet. We want to add a beautiful little detail. So I am just going to grab, let's see here. We're going to go with a little lemon lime twist striped ribbon. And I'm just going to tie this across the top. Just like that. I just want to bring in that green up top here just to kind of balance things off a little bit. And I'm just going to do a little double knot, just like so. There we go. Beauty. Okay, I'm going to trim that up. And we're going to finish off with a little bit of sparkle. That is looking beautiful, you guys, and it is fairly quick card. The trickiest part is kind of just figuring out the laying down, but just make this piece here wider than your card. Just remember that. So when you tilt it up, you end up being able to make sure you can cover this corner. Okay, that is the key to it. Now I'm going to bring in, these are our glitter enamel dots, and look at those. They are fabulous. I love them. It's my favorite new accessory that we have got, a little embellishment. And for this one, I'm going to bring in both the pink and the green. So this is the lovely lipstick. I'm going to put one of those there. And I think I'm going to add a little green down here. And then I'm going to bring in a larger pink one there. So there you have it. That is my feature card for you guys for your Simple Saturday. And if you love this new stamp set as much as I do, then you can purchase that through my online store using the current host code, as well as you'll find all these beautiful embellishments, ribbons, the new ink pad colors that I've used today. All those things you can find through the online store, and I will be very excited to send you a little gift if you purchase any supplies through me. So again, you have to be in Canada to be able to shop with me. If you love the video, let me know. I'd love to hear your comments. So just pop those in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. And I will be back soon with another card for you another day. Thank you.